After a tough road trip, Spartans return home to the friendly confines of the historic Spartan Gym here in San Jose and look to break a 3-match and 9-set losing streak as they take on the Aztecs of San Diego State tonight. Good evening and hello from inside Spartan Gym in San Jose. Jess Canasser and Amy Lansky on a Spartan production, the Mountain West Network here in San Jose. Mid-November, just a couple matches left in the regular season. Spartans a couple weeks ago on this floor, 2 weeks ago on a Thursday night, 2 weeks to the night, Spartans took on a Colorado State team and shocked the then unbeaten Rams, who were looking for an unbeaten season for a second year in a row in the Mountain West Conference, and had a 2-0 lead against the Spartans. But Amy, the San Jose State girls, as we saw a couple times earlier this year, had other plans in mind. They won sets 3, 4, and 5. Well, those were nice memories, but for San Jose State, a 3-0 sweep at the hands of Wyoming here in San Jose just 2 days later, and then a road trip to UNLV and New Mexico last weekend, and in both Las Vegas and Albuquerque, the Spartans fell in 3 straight sets to the Rebels and Lobos. Both tonight they take on a San Diego State team who's right smack in the middle of the conference, 6-5 overall, or in conference play, 14-11 overall, and an Aztec team who already beat the Spartans once this year. But when you look at some of the numbers from that match, Amy, San Diego State just 4 blocks and 52 kills over 18 errors, hitting over 300. The Spartans hit 133 in that match, and if it's anything like what the Spartans have been able to do since that time in early October, when they turned things around a little bit, got a couple wins in conference play, and since October 8th, Spartans have won 2 of their 3 conference matches since that date. So maybe a new San Jose State team who can limit the errors, and if you limit the errors, pick up your defense a little bit, and 52 kills in 3 sets, that's pretty good for the Aztecs.
Yeah, Jess, I agree with you. The Spartans are really going to have to come out tonight passing well, staying in system, and being able to utilize all their hitters to spread that block. They're also really going to need to be scrappy on defense and just stay motivated the whole time. They need to come out looking like that team that we saw in those last 3 sets against Colorado State and figure out a way to be that team again.
Well, kill leaders for San Diego State, Alexandra Soma, a sophomore outside hitter from Athens, Greece, hitting 265 on the year, 3.5 or 3.25 kills a set. We'll look at the stats more after the national anthem. Beautiful rendition of the United States national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. They're talking about San Diego State. Alexandra Soma leading the way for the Aztecs this year, the sophomore from Athens, Greece. 3¼ kills a set, 302, the only Aztec over 300 kills this year. She's in the starting lineup, and that leads us right to the starters for tonight's match. And we'll just go in numerical order. Soma, a sophomore from Greece. Also in the lineup, the defensive specialist, a senior Danny Bolden from Mission Viejo, one of, surprisingly, just a couple Californians on this San Diego State team, and one of 5 Californians for head coach Dietrich Collins Parker. Also in the starting lineup, a senior from Carmel by way of Pepperdine, Emma Fusi, a middle blocker, averaging almost a block per set. Fusi has not played in all the sets for San Diego State. Well, really, surprisingly, just half of their starting lineup has played in all the sets this year. Also at the middle block, Deja Harris, a sophomore from Las Vegas, 6'2". She has played in every set this season. 2.72 kills per set, second behind Soma. And again, almost a block per set, 0.97 for Harris. Alexis Cage, junior from Newport Beach, starts as an outside hitter. Indigo Thompson is the starting center, a transfer from Virginia Commonwealth University by way of Plymouth, Minnesota. And the libero for San Diego State, Devin Pritchard. Soma, Bolden, Fusi, Harris, Cage, Thompson, and Pritchard. For the Spartans, Altahavai Losi gets things going in terms of the starting lineup. Losi, the freshman from Fremont, looking for a strong night. Julia Gavio starts as the other outside hitter for the Spartans. The middle blockers, Taliana Grajeda and Nanjiala Gama. And a change at starting center tonight. Caitlin Zdroik will start as the setter here in the first set, along with Jamie Harai in the starting lineup as the defensive specialist, and Luisa Andrade will be the libero. Losi, Gavio, Grajeda, Zdroik, Hirai, Gama, and Andrade for the Spartans. San Jose State coming in 10-14, 3-9 in the Mountain West Conference. Still a chance to pull themselves into the middle of the pack, although they would need some help along with wins after tonight. Just 5 matches left, 2 of which here in San Jose. 3 on the road. They'll go to Air Force, Boise, and Logan to take on Utah State. And after tonight, the only home matches that remain are the Wolfpack of Nevada on Saturday and Fresno State on November 22nd to end the regular season. And the Spartans, I think you can chalk it up really in any sport. As long as you finish above the Bulldogs from the Central Valley, it's a good season. And with the Spartans and Fresno State both at 3-9 as it stands right now in conference play, and the only meeting between the two teams coming up in 2 weeks' time, or 2+ weeks' time, here at Spartan Gym in San Jose. That should be a good emotional contest. We are underway from San Jose as Julia Gavio, the opening swing, and it's a good way to get going. Put it down off the block and get the opening point. Spartans in the white shirts tonight with yellow swoopy stripes all over. I believe the swoopy stripe, that's a technical term. Blue shorts. Andrade in the blue libero uniform. And a quick 2-0. Gavio, the great serve. And the return was an easy one for Avery to just two-hand fingertip it straight down. The Aztecs in the red shirts with black panels on the sides as Avery gets involved in the block. Kept alive by the Aztecs. Losi mishits it, out of play. And we mentioned coming in that Spartans really beat themselves in San Diego on Aztec court at the beginning of October. 19 attack errors, hit just 133 did the Spartans. That'll have to be better as Grajeda, the soft touch. And the Aztecs looked like initially they may have gotten it off the hardwood, but point for the Spartans, 3-1. And on the other end, something that has to get better for San Jose State is the block. The Aztecs had 52 kills over just 18 errors in that match. There's a double hit called on San Diego State. And Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, but this first time we've seen the Spartans start the first set with more of the first 5 points.
No, you're not wrong. They coming out strong. Well, they might have just.
That's how it seems to always go as Andrade serves it long. But mentioned the block. Didn't get to say it in the open, but a little bit of history for Nangiala Gama as a kill goes, or an attack goes off the net, kept alive by the Spartans. Avery's blocked at the net by Alexis Cage. And Losi, kind of the knuckle change to get the point as she subs out. So the Spartans regain their 3-point advantage.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going back into that modified 6-2 that we saw at the beginning of the season, where they're having Robinson set as well.
Droik the first few points, but no assists as another attack goes wide. Robinson and Thelma Grader's daughter came in for Losi and Zdroik. Second straight serve for Robinson, 6-2 Spartans. Pulled out by Cage, tipped over softly. Spartans played off the net. Gama, and finally put over by Grader's daughter. Block at the line, or at the net by Gama. And the net violation on Nangiala Gama. So I mentioned Gama, who coming into this match, tied for 10th place all time on the single season mark for Spartans in terms of block assists. 106, tied with Stephanie Pascucci, and Jocelyn Gallup was the last person to reach 106 as Gama attacks it into the net. Second straight point for San Diego State. But depending on the night that Gama has tonight, she's 2 away from Barbara Higgins for 9th place, 4 away from tying for 8th place. As Grader's daughter, the kill and Cage, digs it into the stands. And at least as of now, Liz Hudson, who holds the record for the Spartans in terms of block assists in a single season with 134. Gama coming in with 106. Not really out of reach with 6 matches left to play.
Not at all.
7-4 Spartans as Hirai serves here in the first set. Hirai able to pull it maybe off the back line there. Gavio goes up, swings it over. Being set up for the kill and dropping it down is Deja Harris. Harris has all 3 kills now for San Diego State, or rather, both kills. Stat monitor quicker updating than imagined. 2 of 3 attacks, no errors for Harris. And what a serve there by Danny Bolden. Gama blocked at the net by the combination of Soma and Harris. And the Aztecs pulled themselves even. I think it should read 6-7. The scoreboard did show 7-7 for a moment, now corrected. 7-6 Spartans lead, second straight serve, and an ace. Danny Bolden just picked out a corner, and I don't even think I can begin to explain the spin on that serve. It spins up to go over, and then the topspin just kicks in and bites straight down.
Yeah, you said that correctly. She has a tough topspin because she's placing it in areas that the Spartans are just having a hard time filling. If that kind of serve is directly at your platform, it's not too hard to pass, but those ones are in every seam possible.
Gavio hits it long, and the Aztecs with their first lead. But as you can see, when Bolden serves the ball, she also tosses it with a ton of topspin. So that ball is starting already in motion as the Aztecs block it out of play and the Spartans pull even. Harris and Indigo Thompson, the block error there. 8-8. Gama got it, started with the serve. Soma across to Gavio. Now Gavio rises and hits it off the antenna. (9-8) as Devin Pritchard the serve. Ball goes off the hoop, and Pritchard a nice play to keep it alive momentarily. But her pass to Fuzi, and Fuzi unable to handle it as she hits the deck. So these two schools, San Diego State and San Jose State, not just meeting here tonight, but also in San Diego. The Spartan women's soccer team taking on San Diego State in the semifinal of the Mountain West Championship. So we'll keep you updated on that as that gets going in a little while. Danny Bolden, an attack air into the base of the net. Put way too much spin on it, and that ball was just not high enough for her to be able to do that.
Yeah, her body was a little off balance too, and that's when she looked like she intended to just keep it in, but swinging straight into the net.
Fuzi attacks it into the net. Looked like it may have touched a couple Spartan hands, but it did get the majority of the tape on the netting. Spartan lead back to 2 points. It was 4-1 Spartans. That's been the largest lead of the set by either team. As Andrade pulls that one off the ground. Gavio dug straight up. And the point for the Spartans on a 2-hit by Soma.
And that's the kind of defense that we need to keep seeing from the Spartans. That was a great dig by Andrade, and the way that Gavio was able to just be explosive and keep that ball in and get the Aztecs out of system a little bit is what they need to continue to do.
Timeout called by Dietrich Collins-Parker, the head coach of San Diego State. We'll take a break. 12-9 Spartans in the first set here on the Mountain West Network. (12-9 Spartans as a Aztec attack by Soma goes off the antenna, and the Spartans get a fourth straight point. 13-9 San Jose State. Strike the serve. Andrade keeps it alive after partially blocked by Gavio, and then set up for Gavio and the kill. Another serve on the way from Zdroik. Soft tip over. Spartans able to handle it. Gavio punches it over. Blocked solely by Grajeda, still alive. Palmed over now by Bolden. Spartans getting set up. Losi kept alive by Bolden. 1 and 2 hits, and that's outside the antenna. Spartans going on a good run here. Seen them strike for 6 straight points As Droik goes again, and that's an ace. Cage can't handle it. And Cage clearly rattled a little bit as Alexis Saba comes in. The Aztecs getting a little bit more defensive. 2 defensive specialists and a libero in there. As Grajeda and Losi combined for the block. So really right now, everything working for the Spartans. Really minimal errors, just 1 service error, which has always been a story. Soft touch over by Fuzi. Spartans quick to recover. Haven't been caught off guard yet by that tonight. And right through the arms of Andrade as the Aztecs find double figures, 17-10 San Jose State. Served by Cage back in there. Gavio is blocked and it ends up in the hands of Grajeda, and nothing really she can do as she was turning away, so she didn't end up with a Wilson tattoo. Perhaps Spalding or Baden. Losi goes cross court for the kill. And the Spartans stem that Aztec run at just 2 points. Have a 7-point advantage here in the latter stages of set number 1, 18-11. Backwards set, gets an attack over. Softly put over by Avery, but that's outside the antenna. Soma back to serve. She had the best night against the Spartans when these teams last faced off against one another. Strike the set. Avery puts it over. Blocked up there by Grajeda and Avery. Now Avery off of a rough pass, able to push it over. And the attack error as that one was hit wild by Ashlyn Dunbar.
And that was just an amazing play. I think Droik really deserves the credit on that one. Able to get 2 sets out of some really out-of-system balls out to Avery, and Avery just playing so smart on the outside pin.
Well, there were a couple sets on that play by Devin Pritchard, who is wearing the libero shirt. You don't expect that too often for that second pass to be coming from the libero.
No, you know, it's typically when the setter digs that first ball, the libero is going to step in and have that set.
The Aztecs do have 3 players who averaged over 5 sets a year, and that was a gimme for Deja Harris, and she dumps it wide. And immediately tapping herself up around the collarbone, apologizing to her teammates. That was as much of a meatball as you'll find. Opted to go with the soft touch and got a little bit too cute.
Yeah, she went towards the right spot. There was no one there, but she just pushed it a little too much.
Spartan lead is 7 as Gavio shoves it over from the back row. And another point off a Aztec attack error. San Diego State not doing themselves any favors. Spartans are only 10 kills over 6 errors, hitting 182. San Diego State 5 over 8 in the red and by a bunch. As that'll help them out a little bit. Andrade tried to pass it forward and it couldn't get over. Hannah Turnland gets her first kill of the match. 5 players with at least 1 for San Diego State. Harris the only one with more than 1. Robinson in the set led Gradersdottir a little bit too much, and luckily it was blocked out of play, as that was not the best swing from Telma.
That was actually I agree, it wasn't the best swing, but it was really smart being able to tool that block, and the way she turned her wrist, really, she took full advantage of that block with those hands turned out.
Gradersdottir, her second kill, 2 Spartans 2-0, her and Grajeda. 21-13 as Hirai pulls it off the floor. Gama had to kind of snap her wrist to get that one in. Gama the partial block, she keeps it alive. Robinson punches it off, maybe her collarbone. Had her back to us, couldn't see exactly what that hit. And Gama, Gradersdottir, blocked it out of play. Danny Bolden, who from her first time serving, seems safe to call her a serving specialist. Had an ace her first time up. Second time through, good serve to the back row where Hirai gets it. Spartans turned it into a kill by Gavio. And you have to think that after a certain amount of time, just like a Venus Williams in tennis, you can only do the incredibly hard serve to catch your opponents off guard so many times. You have to have something else in your arsenal, and that's not something you want to have in your arsenal as Gama goes into the net with the service error.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jess, and I think the reason that she's so successful, that Bolden's so successful, is because she is able to place that ball exactly where she wants every time, and it's coming with so much velocity that it's just hard to pass.
There's a different kind of serve as Pritchard rainbows it over, barely got to the line, and Grajeda able to tap it home. 24-16 Spartans. So Spartans with a bunch of chances to serve for the set here. Caitlin Zdroik given the task. And at least the first time around, Spartans unable to get it done, so it'll have to come on a side out. Spartans with a few opportunities still, 17-24, Aztecs serving, and a net touch called, or rather a 2-hit called on Zdroik. But
the Spartans really just need to take a breath right now and just control this pass, because this is truly a different team than we've seen the past few home games coming out in this first set, and these kind of mistakes that they're making aren't what they need, but looks like they just won off a net call.
So take it any way you can get it for the Spartans. That snaps a 9-set losing streak for the Spartans, who got swept by Wyoming, UNLV, and New Mexico in their last 3 matches. And before we take a break, and really, I guess we don't need to at this point, with just a little bit of time as the teams switch sides, we can go back and look at the stats. And Amy, that thought exactly for the Spartans, the first set has not been their friend. You have to go back to October 15th, 4 matches ago, to find a first set that the Spartans won. And then before that, you have to go back to September 29th, when they beat New Mexico in 3 sets. Or rather, beg your pardon, I read my notes wrong. Before that, the last first set that San Jose State won before October 15th, all the way back on September 16th, a 25-17 first set win over Cal State Fullerton. That was at the USD SDSU Invitational Tournament. So that was a neutral site match. Spartans since then have lost the first set to UCSB, Wyoming, Colorado State, New Mexico, UNLV, Nevada, San Diego State, Boise State. Had that win against Air Force in the first set. Colorado State, Wyoming again, UNLV again, New Mexico, and now the win over San Diego State in the first set. So they added a little bit of time between sets. We will take a break. Spartans take set number 1, 25-18. We'll have the second for you in a few moments' time. San Jose State production of the Mountain West Network. This is Spartan Women's Volleyball. Jess Canasser and Amy Lansky, happy to have you back with us here on the Mountain West Network in San Jose. Spartans and Aztecs for a little Thursday night volleyball for you. Spartans take set number 1, 25-18. Mentioned before the break, Spartans not a quick starting team for the most part this year. That just the second time the Spartans have won set number 1 in conference play. And when you figure they've played 12 conference matches, this the 13th, good as time as any to buck that trend. Tavai Losi, 4 kills for the Spartans over 1 error. Julie Gavio, 4 kills over 3 errors. 3 perfect hitters, Grahena, Gradersdottir, and Avery, 3, 2, and 1 each. And the second set starts with an emphatic block by Gavio and Grajeda. Spartans hitting 286 in the first set. San Diego State minus 30. Cage, big windup. Hirai able to save it, and a net touch by San Diego State. Touch of the net by Fuzi. Hannah Turnland, 2 kills, no errors. Deja Harris, 2 kills, 1 error. Everybody else hitting negatively for the Aztecs as the Spartans get themselves an ace, 3-0. Not sure what's gotten into Caitlin Stroik, but being given the opportunity to play, and she is taking all of it. Stroik the ace, 6 assists, got the start. Grajeda the sole block to keep it alive. And a nice dig, and then Losi just wings it over. Blocked by Losi, and the Spartans make it 4-0. Stroik saw a lot of time for the Spartans in the early part of this year. This is just the 25th set she's played in this year. And again, Alexandra Soma goes right into the block. And there was no daylight there. Tried to go straight down the line. Losi and Gavio had that shut down the whole way. Another attack, and this time Soma goes away from the block and pushes it long. And that'll force a timeout by San Diego State, 6-0. Spartans with the early run here in set number 2. And so far, Amy, it's just been more of the same. Spartans on fire to begin a set. They led the first set 4-1 in the first 5 points. They're blocking well. They're attacking well. And San Diego State is really doing it to themselves. Spartans, I mean, they only have 14 digs in over 40 points. So you figure that either means that the Spartans are burying every single attack, which they're hitting 276, but the Aztecs, 13 attack errors on 39 attacks. That's a not great percentage. That's 33% of all attacks going out of play, and only 8 kills on top of it.
Yeah, that's true. And the Spartan block is really penetrating the net well, low, and just closing that block well. So the Aztecs are having a hard time just figuring out where to hit. And I think that's just one of the main issues that they're having right now.
Six nothing. Droik still serving. And make it 7 as Soma, trying to avoid the block, puts it into the net. Another attack error. Seven straight. Droik still serving. Cage winds up, and that time she finds the back corner. And the Aztecs end that run to start the set. But a great opening run by the Spartans, 7 straight points. Soma the serve at 1-7. Strike the one-handed set and called for a lift. Droik, who mentioned that she's only played in 22 sets coming into this match, did play 2 of the 3 sets in Albuquerque last week. But really factoring in is Gavio, a miss hit there. It just kind of rolls off her fingertips. And now 3 straight for the Aztecs. Thanks Droik for all her work in that match at New Mexico. 2 sets, just 3 assists. Has already surpassed that number and then some here in the first set, and not even a half yet. As the kill by Losi gets the assist for Zdroik right on cue. 7th assist of the match for the freshman setter from Brentwood. Gavio serves it long, and service goes right back to the Aztecs. 4-8, Fuzi serving. Losi fakes the set, just pushes it over. Indigo, or rather, Cage is blocked at the net. Partial block, Andrade has to dig it out for the Spartans. Avery, Andrade, a reflex block, or dig. And Hannah Turnland, 5'9" outside hitting Hannah Turnland, who we talked about a couple Northern Californians. Turnland from Morgan Hill, Presentation High School graduate. Spartans turn it right back in their favor as Losi the kill. Turnland from Morgan Hill. Already mentioned Emma Fuzi from Carmel. Sam McGrath, a freshman who has yet to play this year from Oakland. Bailey Osborne from Corte Madera. Those are the Northern Californians for San Diego State. Scrambled defensively, and Turnlin was one to try to get it over, and she had no chance against that block of Gama and Losi.
Yeah, so far Turnlin's been doing a pretty good job of keeping the ball in play and finding those open spots for the kill, but that one, she got a little excited, just hitting it straight into that block.
That block assist by Gama gives her 107. As Avery, the sole block, we'll see if they give Gama the benefit of the doubt. She was standing next to Summer Avery, but that was all Avery by herself.
Yeah, she jumped a little late.
And that will be a solo block for Avery. So no milestone move up for Nanjiala Gama just yet. Mentioned coming in, she is trying to work her way up the single season mark for block assists. As Hannah Turnlin powers that one home. Turnlin with a few fans in attendance tonight. Understandable, not too far from Morgan Hill or Presentation High School. Gama shoves it over, and then the second time is blocked, and the third time the Spartans can't get it over. The Aztecs really digging into that once 7-point lead. Now have dwindled it down to 4. 7-11. Cage the stutter step serve. Gama rises, and it's off the block by Turnlin and Harris out of play. Gama gets the kill. First kill of the match for Nanjiala. Losi continuing to lead all hitters with 6 kills and hitting 500. Greyhead is hitting 1,000, 3 kills on 3 attacks, no errors. There's a 2-hit call on the Spartans. Turnlin will serve for, or rather, Turnlin will come out for Danielle Bolden. Bolden the serve, and Andrade has to drop to the ground to be able to return that one. Bolden sets it for Soma. Andrade diving backwards, able to pull it out. Grader's daughter, and that drops on the wrong side of the net. Touched the tape a little bit, maybe got a little bit of the cord, but not enough to dip over. And the lead now down to 3. 9-12 with Bolden serving. And a second straight ace. Nothing you can do with that except just hope and pray it either hits you or ends up out of bounds.
Or go towards it, not away from it.
Well, in all that spin, it sails as if it's going to head beyond the white line. As that serve hits the net, Spartans keep it alive. Bolden keeps it going herself. Andrade the dig. Grader's daughter, and that's blocked out of play. But to finish that point, you try to move towards that ball or you move away from it expecting it to go out of play. And that's really what that topspin can do to you, is it fools you into thinking that it's going to sail about 10 feet wide, maybe find the fans in the first row.
Yeah.
And then it just bites and finds the back line.
And I feel like the Spartans, they know, Andrade and Gavio especially, 2 very strong passers, know that they should at least be following that ball to the line to make sure it goes out rather than hoping it goes out and, you know, giving Bolden that ace.
Good point there as teams trade attacks. Grader's daughter attacks it out of play. Spartans, 6 errors on the attack in that first set. 3 here already in the second. Halfway through, 13-11, Spartans lead. Soft serve by Pritchard. Gama attacks it right to Pritchard. Partial block at the net. Grader's daughter set up, and she mishits it. Spartans starting to get a little bit too cute. It's 3 or 4 times we've seen now. Maybe not a opportunity for the Spartans to take a full wind up at the set, but at the same time, not really focusing on it. But Graders' turns that back around, gets a solid set, and smashes it down.
That was a smart play call by Robinson to have Graders' go around and in for that too, because the Aztecs were just not expecting that after she's been hitting the 5s consistently.
Gama the serve at 14-12. Fuzi the shortened swing, trying to catch the Spartans off guard. Fuzi blocks a Gama attack. Robinson shoves it over. Fuzi blocked by Gavio, and the Spartans get the point. Spartans trying to hang on to their 7-point lead that they had to start the set. Going to build it back up. It's up to 3 points now. And a 4-hit call on the Aztecs. So up to 4 points now is the lead. Gama the serve. Bolden pulls it out. Grajeda a fingertip block on a soft attack by Fuzi, and a little bit more speed that time as Soma knocks it down. Lauren Utchin will play for the first time this set. And not an ace, but 2-hit called on the Spartans. Utchin will serve again. 14-16. Grajeda tips it over and Utchin can't grab it. Well, and based on the subs so far, I mean, it sure seems like Robinson being used more as a defensive setter, if such a thing. She does have the ability to block pretty well, as Losi blocks it out of play.
Yeah, they're both the setters are playing only back row, and I'm thinking that the reason Coach Shepperson did that is because they just have, the Spartans have so much depth when it comes to their hitting and the players that can hit on each pin, and so I feel like when they're running the 6-2, they get each of those players in. They get Summer Avery in, they get Losi in, they get Gavio in, and Graders' They get them all in rather than having a setter set front row and not getting all those hitters in and utilizing the depth that they have.
Well, speaking of the depth, great pass there by Zdroik to Grajeda, and that's as textbook as it comes. Spartans get the serve back, 18-15. Gavio triggers it in. Andrade, a sky hook dig to keep that one alive. Pushed over by Turnland. Andrade, Losi, kept alive by Pritchard. And a double. Didn't think that was on Pritchard, but whoever the pass was to after her. And another error leads to another Spartan point. Just like that, an error turns it right back over. Service error by Julia Gavio. 4th service error by the Spartans. Keeping the Aztecs in the set for the time being. That's a good way to respond as Grajeda, her 6th kill of the match, puts the Spartans at 20. On service, probably the one spot that the Aztecs have done very well in. 2 aces, no errors. Spartans 2 aces, 4 errors. Big swing by Cage, and she thought she got a tip there at the net. and hopped around a little bit after not getting the call.
That was a close one.
2 players in the net for the Spartans there, and Cage thought she found somebody's fingernail. And a misplay there, mispass rather, by Pritchard leads the Spartans' 3rd ace of the match. 22-16 San Jose State is timeout called by head coach Collins Parker. And we will take a break. Spartans have a 6-point lead, nearing on a second set win after winning the first one by 7 points, trying to do even better than that here in set number 2. Spartan Volleyball on the Mountain West Network. Third straight serve for Luisa Andrade, and that one goes into the net. 22-17, Spartans with the lead here in set number 2. Trying to follow up just their second first set win in conference play with a second set win. The Aztecs not going away just yet. Low C, partially blocked at the net. Turnlin, and that's blocked by Gama and Losi. And that will lead to a little bit of history. Nanjala Gama moves up to 9th place all time with 108 block assists. Next up, Tanya Kamau, 1998. She recorded 110. As Gama now tied with Barbara Higgins. And a second straight Spartan serve goes into the net. That time by Julie Gavio. Rather, Brienne Robinson put that one in the net. 18-23. Bolden the serve. Long toss, great serve. Gavio, and thought that was a hand of Robinson that touched the net, and they ruled it was the ball, but it went out of play anyway. Spartans call a timeout. So 2 of 3 points won by San Diego State. Spartans trying to do what they can to stem a potential run, and really an interesting timeout as you look at the huddle for the Aztecs. Coaching staff right in the middle of that huddle. You look at the Spartan huddle, and all 3 coaches, Julian Shepardson, Aaron Shepardson, and Ian Choi. Only Justine Record is in the huddle. The other 3 having their own coaches huddle. Now the head coach and the rest of the coaching staff gets involved, but
yeah, luckily there's enough time with 1 minute and 15 seconds for them to come up with a quick game plan and then give that to the girls.
But interesting to see the timeout called and no immediate interaction between the head coach or even the top assistant coach.
Definitely. Sometimes the girls need to just figure a little bit of it out on their own.
Well, and if you come out of a timeout and you win the next point anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
As perhaps more than anything, just a discussion of how to return this Bolden serve. As she doesn't do herself any favors by tossing it so far ahead, but turns it into a good serve. That time not as much topspin. Andrade and Robinson ruled to...
That was ruled the back row attack. by her reaching up for that pass, trying to set it, but Coach Shepherdson not happy with that call, thinking the Aztecs went over, reached over.
Well, it sure looked like that pass was going backwards the whole way. Now 23-20, and Spartans.
That's that one you were talking about.
Hoping for at least the way that I would play that serve. Just cross my fingers, toes, eyes, anything crossable, and just hope that it goes out of play. So Bolden puts it out. Spartans 4 chances for the set here. Hirai the serve. Cage keeps it alive. And the kill by Harris. The serve goes back to the Aztecs, and it will be a Spartan side out to try and win set number 2. They won the first set on a net infraction. Gama trying to end it, swings it long, and
just won on another net infraction.
There is another net infraction. Go figure. The Spartans, who have been hot at starting sets, 2 sets in a row now, have had trouble closing it out, but have gotten the final blow of each, the first and second set, by way of a net infraction. And after 2 sets here in San Jose, Spartans 25-18, 25-21 lead San Diego State 2 sets to none. We have a 9+ minute intermission ahead of us. We will have the 3rd set for you when we return in a few minutes' time. Spartans lead 2 sets to none over San Diego State. Spartan Volleyball on the Mountain West Network. Welcome back to historic Spartan Gym in San Jose. Spartans with a 2-0 lead over San Diego State as we get ready for the start of the third set. Jess Canastra, Amy Lansky with you in San Jose as Spartans looking for the first of 2 potential wins against San Diego State tonight. San Diego State and the Spartans in the Mountain West Women's Soccer Tournament getting underway just about now in San Diego. So we'll keep you updated on that as the third set starts as the first 2 did with a Spartan point. Lauren Utchin serves it out of play. Second service error by the Aztecs. San Diego State continuing to hit in the red. Aztecs 0-9-4 in that second set as Alexis Cage takes out the water cooler. Trying to retrieve that pass, knocked over a bunch of cups and, well, putting the towels to good work over there.
I did that my freshman year. One of our first home games, ran straight into the Gatorade cooler and knocked it over in front of the whole basketball team.
Well, you figure at the very least that'll teach you not to pre-pour the cups.
Exactly.
Gavio can't dig out a strong attack by Tamia Reeves. Reeves, a middle blocker freshman from Carrollton, Texas, playing in her 42nd set for Deidre Collins Parker this year. Gama, the kind of cobra-like arm curl as she snapped that one over. Now Losi being set up, blocked in the net by Reeves. Reeves blocks Zdroik. Now Avery and Reeves there for a third rejection, along with Cage. And the Spartans block it out of play as Cage goes off the block for the kill. And this set finally a little bit different than the other 2. Spartans won for the first 5 points in set number 1, won the first 7 points in the second set. And now it's 2-2 here in the third. Strike the set behind her back and Losi knocks it down. Soma can't defend it. Tahavai Losi having the best night of all Spartan hitters, 429. But leading the way with 7 kills, Taliana Grajeda, the only night better hitting-wise, 6 for 6. No errors, and all of her attacks have been kills as a poor pass there by Reeves. Makes it 2 straight for the Spartans, 4-2, as Robinson continues the serve. Spartans were swept by San Diego State in early October, trying to return the favor with the early lead here in set number 3. Robinson for Andrade, who comes up to set it for Gradersdottir. She's blocked at the net. Gradersdottir on her way up again. A block by Reeves this time ends up on the Aztec side. And Turnlund puts it off a couple Spartan hands out of play and picks up the kill. Turnlund, meanwhile, the leading killer for San Diego State. 5 kills over 2 errors, hitting 200.
She's just playing so smart, knowing when to go full force at it and when to back off and place the ball in the right spots.
And this Aztec team has gotten a lot of contributions from their freshmen. Turnlund, one of those. Tamia Reeves, one of the others, as a Aztec serve goes into the net. Those probably the top 2 freshmen. Laura Utchin has played in 31 sets, 32 now for San Diego State. Alexandra Soma, also a sophomore, along with Utchin. And Indigo Thompson has been one of the top setters. Gradersdottir handcuffs Pritchard, who's able to put it straight up. Couple good passes, they get it over. Raiders' daughter from the right side is blocked out of play by Deja Harris. Rai serving at 6-3 for the Spartans. Kind of a knuckling topspin serve herself, and Gama and Raiders' daughter blocked the attack out of play. Went off of Gama's hands and straight up. Had no idea where it was. So this third set, the most competitive we've seen tonight. Gavio with the exclamatory scream as she smacked that one downwards. Talked about Venus Williams in terms of the serve. That was a Venus Williams or a Serena Williams-like grunt upon exhaling all that energy on the ball. And that has to feel very good. That afterwards, not very good, as Gama serves it into the net. And that probably the one thing you could take away from the Spartans' first 2+ sets and say that's what needs to get better. 7 service aces, or rather service errors, as Danny Bolden serves it in the net herself. The Spartans don't serve a whole bunch of aces, but also don't serve that many errors. Drake serves it to the sideline, and Harris goes into a block of Gavio and Grajeda. The Spartans rebuilding a multi-point lead. Rather, I guess that was blocked out of play. It looked like it was initially signaled a Spartan point. But the kill for Harris makes it a 2-point Spartan lead. Uriah dives to keep it alive. Losi gets it over. Reeves is blocked at the net. Stroik down to both her knees to dig that one. And Gavio puts it off the net, out of play. And Coach Shepherdson is arguing, albeit futilely, to make her point known that that was not the net that rejected it, but that it also touched a Aztec hand. But the point not given. Losi goes cross court and just does catch the line. So that followed up the best way possible after a point that the Spartans felt, at least the Spartan bench felt, should have gone their way, with a point that there's really no margin to call it anything but a Spartan point. As again, that a definitive kill for San Diego State. (9-8). Utchin, the second serve in a row for her. Gavio handcuffs Pritchard, and then Gavio able to just tip it back over after the dig by Pritchard. (10-8) Spartans here in set number 3. Spartans won the first set by 7 points and the second one by 4. As the tip by Soma goes right into Gama and Losi. And I'm not sure what it is that the Spartan bench is doing and chanting anytime there is a block at the net, but they're certainly having fun doing it. Some sort of 3 or 4 syllable chant. And whatever it is working. Strike the backward set. Gama kept alive by Utchin, and then Cage hits it into the net. as the Aztecs call their first time out here in set number 3. 12-8, Spartans with the lead, leading 2-0. Losi continuing to be the leader in kills with 8 over just 1 error on 16 attacks. Grajeda earlier here this set had her first attack returned, so she's now 7 kills on 8 attacks. So no longer hitting 1,000 for the evening, but she'll just have to settle so far for 875. No errors for Grajeda. Other 2 hitters for the Spartans in positive figures. Gavio and Grader's daughter. Julie Gavio 6 over 5. Thelma Grader's daughter 5 over 2. Summer Avery 1 kill, no errors, 5 attacks. Nanjiala Gama, the only Spartan in negative figures, 2 kills over 3 errors, hitting -100. The numbers not quite as shiny on the other side for San Diego State. Hannah Turnlin 6 over 2, hitting .235. Alexandra Soma second in terms of kills with 4, but 8 errors, hitting -235. Deja Harris 4 over 1 for a .333 hitting percentage, and then all the rest hitting either 0 or negatives. As a great dig there by Gavio got that whole play started, and Avery puts the dot on the exclamation point. She picks up her 2nd kill. Spartans coming out of the timeout with the point. It seems like more often than not, that's what San Jose State does, as a service ace for Andrade goes off the net, and getting underneath it was Bolden, but not able to do anything with it. Largest lead of the set is right now 6 points. 14-8, San Jose State. Andrade again off the net, maybe the same spot. Bolden able to pull it out that time. Set up for a attack by Soma, and that goes wide left. That error by Soma puts the Aztecs back at 0. They are hitting 167 for the set, but have not had a great night attacking. Kind of a chop swing by Tamia Reeves. Spartans recovered. Losi the tip, and the Aztecs recover. Best point we've seen. Avery off the arm of Cage, and the Spartans get the point. Stay tuned after the match. Whenever it may end, we'll have a interview with Spartans head coach Jolene Shepherdson. As Amy, you wear yet another hat, producer slash engineer slash color commentator slash resident volleyball expert slash sideline reporter interviewer. As the Spartans finally break their run of points on a service error by Andrade. And the run of 7 ends with an Aztec point, and now a 2nd straight for San Diego State. Stay tuned for that interview immediately following the conclusion of this match, which at this point, if the Spartans don't win this 3rd set, it would set up a very interesting set number 4. Losi has her attack returned. Andrade the set for Avery's. Tips over and in. And it sure seems like of all the opponents we've seen here in San Jose, Aztecs have just had the toughest time dealing with every San Jose State tip. The Spartans really do like to use that soft attack from time to time, and we saw a whole bunch against Wyoming and Colorado State. It was just being blocked and shoved right back in their faces, but they had a good go of it tonight with that soft touch, although not on that point. as the Aztecs get the kill.
Yeah, Jess, it seems that the Spartans are attacking, and then tipping, and that's what's seeming to work for them almost every time, because the Aztecs are on their heels and waiting for those hard-driven balls, and then can't react to those tips quite fast enough.
Devin Pritchard, the serve at 11-17. Avery's attack goes right to Pritchard. Soma goes up. Andrade, the dig on it, but it goes out of play. (12-17) now. Aztecs in need of a big run. Their longest run of the night has only been 4 points, as Avery snaps her wrist too much and goes in almost into the base of the net from 3 feet away. And the Aztecs inch 1 point closer. Each of the first 2 sets ended up being relatively close. It was towards the end of each, the first and second, that San Diego State started to find their way back in, as Gama called, or rather, the Aztecs called for the infraction.
Yeah, I think that was called on Hannah Turnlin. Just reaching into that net, just a little too much, trying to get that block.
Thought initially the whistle blew right as Gama went up for it, that it was going to be on Nangiala, but
yeah,
not on her. So the Spartans 18-13, and the attack goes off a couple Spartan hands. And the Aztecs make it a 4-point set again after the kill by Soma. Miss hit there by Gavio, who never really looked comfortable. Didn't seem to have her feet under her, and that one kind of rolled off her back arm. And the lead is 3 for San Jose State. Prompts a Spartan timeout. We will take a timeout as well. Aztecs continuing to serve. It'll be Cage at 15-18 after the ace, trying to keep the Aztecs alive here in set number 3, with the Spartans leading 2-0. Cage continuing to serve at 15-18. Spartans trying to get the sweep over the Aztecs here in set number 3. Hirai doing her part defensively. Gavio, she's blocked, and Andrade can't recover. We were talking the break, Amy, about Taliana Grajeda, 7 kills, no errors, 8 attacks, hitting .875. Good to see one of the Spartan freshmen who we saw and maybe got lofty expectations from, Grajeda, who had a great opening weekend for the Spartans with just 3 errors on 11 kills in the Spartan Invitational as Cage goes into the net. It's been kind of an up and down year for the freshman from Clovis, but Grajeda having her best night since October 15th against Air Force, when she was 10 over 1 on 20 attacks, hitting .450. If her numbers hold tonight, she'd blow that out of the water. 19-16, Spartans with the lead, and the Aztecs not done yet, as Turnlin probably the best attack we've seen so far by the Aztecs tonight. Don't write off San Diego State just yet. 2-point lead for the Spartans here in set number 3. Turnlin, her 8th kill of the match over just 2 errors. Grajeda goes up, and, well, that's what we get for talking about her. Thought maybe that touched the hand at the net on the Aztec block. No real complaints coming from the Spartan bench. As Grajeda, her first error of the evening. Bolden serving with the Aztecs down by 1. Grader's daughter, and another attack error by the Spartans. That one looking to go across from the front right to the back middle, or to the back left, or middle of the left, and sailed on Grader's daughter. And the Spartans, not what they wanted to do out of the timeout. 2 straight points for the Aztecs, and we are tied at 19 here in set number 3. We'll step aside once more on the Mountain West Network. Spartan Volleyball tied at 19, leading 2-0. Bolden serving at 19s. Spartans leading 2-0. San Jose State production of the Mountain West Network, and the Aztecs, their first lead this late in a set, as Harris, way too easy, slams it straight down. Deja Harris, 5 kills over 1 error, 10 attacks. Best hitter for the Aztecs tonight. Bolden's serve goes to Hirai. Grader's daughter off a couple hands. Forces Cage to play it. Bolden palms it over. Hana Chershnakova in the match for the first time. Goes off a couple hands up front. Grader's daughter and Grajeda involved in a block to keep it on the Aztec side. Andrade there defensively. Chershnakova kept alive by Soma defensively. Now Soma over, Hirai the dive. Grajeda the tip, and the Spartans, wow, kept alive by the Aztecs. Thought that one was done. Grader's daughter off an arm. And another scramble defensively. San Diego State still able to get it over. Chershnakova skimming the net, and a nice play by Soma, and the Aztecs win the best point of the match so far as Deja Harris gets the kill. And we probably saw 4 or 5 different styles of attacks by each team. What a point. Thought the Spartans had it won twice. Thought the Aztecs had it won a couple times. And eventually Deja Harris said, enough of that. 2-point lead for San Diego State. 21-19. Bolden still serving. 4 straight points for the Aztecs. And the setter's dump. First time we see that tonight. Brianne Robinson handcuffs the Aztecs at the net, as that dump went right to Deja Harris, and she didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, she was not ready for that, especially having the setter's back row as a middle hitter. You're not really fully expecting that dump.
Spartans trailing by 1 as Losi pulls it off the net where it was rolling. And Deja Harris off balance smacks it into the net, and we're tied at 21. Well, and you figured that at that point the Aztecs wanted to go up 21-19. That was a momentum changer, either direction.
Definitely.
But the Spartans able to win the next two and have brought it even. Tried the nice dig. Palmed over by Losi. Losi the block there with Grajeda. Dumped over by Utchin, and she's called for...
So it's because the libero can't set in front of the 10-foot line with their hands, and if she does, then the next person to attack needs to stay on the ground or below the plane of the net. And
so not Utchin, but Pritchard called for the infraction.
Yeah.
And the Spartans, after watching the Aztecs rattle off 4 straight, go on a 3-point run themselves and have a 22-21 lead here with the timeout called by San Diego State. We will hold on to it right here. Look at the continuing stats here in set number 3. It's been the best set so far for San Diego State offensively. 12 kills, 5 errors on 36 attacks, hitting 194. But that brings their 2+ set match total to just 40. When you think the Aztecs had 52 kills, 18 errors on 106 attacks against San Jose State on Aztec Court in San Diego on October 8th, hitting 321 in that match. Spartans have done quite a number on the Aztecs tonight. 8 blocks for San Jose State. They did have 9.5 against the Aztecs last month, but taking advantage of just a San Diego State team that is not hitting well tonight. 27 kills over 23 errors. They were in the red, in the negatives coming into this third set. Have pulled themselves beyond the threshold to at least be in the positives. So we go again, 22-21, Zdroik the serve, and the strong swing by Soma. Evens it back up at 22. That one hit a Spartan at the net, and Hirai had it hit her right around the neck. That took quite a deflection off a Spartan. Soft serve by Emma Fuzi. And the Spartans respond with a tip and a late call from the back corner official on the Spartan side. Neither of the net judges called it, and it was the official furthest from the play who had the clearest view to say that that one was pulled off the ground after it touched the ground. So the kill for Grajeda puts the Spartans 2 points away. Treshnakova will serve, trying to get the Spartans to match point. Soma blocked by Grajeda and Losi. And the far side kill by Reeves. Tamia Reeves, who had 1 kill against the Spartans in San Diego, gets her second of the match and at least keeps this set from being a Spartan opportunity to win as the Aztecs block one at the net. And now San Diego State a chance to take set number 3. (24-23). Losi goes up, blocked by Reeves and Soma, and we are headed for set number 4. So the Spartans, who did have a 6-point run and a 7-point run in the middle of the set and had as much as a 4-point lead, unable to hold on to it, and don't go anywhere just yet. The Aztecs strike for a set here in set number 3. 25-23. We will take a break and have the 4th set for you in a couple minutes' time on the Mountain West Network. 2-1 Spartans lead as we begin set number 4 here in San Jose. Spartans have only won the first set twice in conference play, and two of the three matches they've won in conference play, they've come back from down 2-0. Still one set away from that happening to the Spartans, but certainly after that third set win by the Aztecs, you have to think that Spartans may be thinking about it a little bit. This one's still 2:25. There's Grajeda, soft attack. Cage the swing, and Zdroik couldn't get low enough to play it well defensively.
Yeah, Jess, going back on what you said of the Spartans are just thinking about it a little too much. You know, in that third set, about the middle of the set when they were just dominating, you saw a whole different team with their confidence than in comparison to the end of the set, and they need to figure out a way to continue that through that whole set.
2-0 here in set number 4. Pritchard lays out. Nice play defensively. Andrade forward to Zdroik, and Grajeda straight down. So an update from San Diego, where the Spartans and Aztecs are playing on the soccer pitch in the Mountain West Championship. It's the semifinal matchup between the Aztecs and the Spartans. Get to that in a moment. Look out, Amy, that one almost coming up to us.
I'm ready.
Service ace by Gavio makes it 2-2. Gavio, her first ace of the match. 7th ace by the Spartans. Almost got a second one there as that hit the net and dropped straight down. Losi goes up. Pritchard the play, gets it over. Spartans on the attack again. Avery will tip it over. Back row attack from Soma. Losi the tip. Several Aztecs converge, and no one's able to get it more than 3 feet off the ground. 3-2 Spartans. Tease the score from San Diego. They're in the 28th minute in San Diego. Spartans and Aztecs in the semifinal. 2-0 Aztecs with the lead. Goal in the run of play and a penalty kick goal most recently a moment ago. Spartans with some work to do there, and here the Spartans have the 2-1 lead, but the Aztecs in each the third and now the fourth set looking like a different team. And Amy, we talked about it, the Spartans hitting pretty well as a team, but I think so far the story has been San Diego State not hitting well. They've corrected their ways and have made this a much more competitive match as the Spartans commit a infraction at the net. And Fuzi will serve again. Gavio, Fuzi, and then Utchin, and they're finally able to get it over. Spartan attack, bounces off the net, and a 4-hitter. (5-3) Aztecs. Losi, the tip. Harris able to back up a couple steps to play it. Turnlin will tip it over herself. Losi swings at it, and that goes off of Turnlin out of play. And the Spartans get the serve back, now trail by 1. (4-5) as Andrade serves it in. Cage tips it, and that went off of Avery and off to her right. Spartans can't recover. Gage the serve after her 6th kill of the match. Gama fakes the tip. Avery able to play it. Aztecs go into a block once, into a block twice. Pritchard will just hit it over standing. And the Spartans turn it into a point. And by far the most remarkable part about that point, Nanjala Gama went up, and I'm not sure if she faked a tip or legitimately whiffed on that attack, but Avery was ready for it on the left sideline and able to get it over. The point then saw a couple Spartan blocks from there, but
yeah, that I think was just a miscommunication between her and Droik with what play they were running and where Gama wanted that set.
And Avery was there for the backup on it. Aztecs, meanwhile, get another kill from Turnland, who subs out. And the lead becomes 2 points again, as Bolden will serve it at 7-5. Serve goes to Andrade. Gama off a couple hands up front. Bolden the kill. No, it goes long. Thought maybe she had the back line there, but unable to get it to drop in. And whatever it is she's able to do to get that top spin on her serve has not really been able to turn it into anything attack-wise. 6 attacks, 2 errors, no kills. Harris off the block of Gavio. And the Aztecs get the ball and the lead back and increase it to 8-6. Devin Pritchard will serve. Raiders' daughter from the middle forces Cage to the ground to play it. Bolden again, and did not touch a Spartan hand up front, and the attack goes long. Angela Gama serving at 7-8. Gama coming in, chasing history, has gotten herself to 109 block assists on the season. Puts her 1 away from 8th. She's already moved up to that position, rather to 9th tonight. Couple strong swings by the Aztecs have been pulled out by the Spartans. Now Gavio's attack is kept alive by the Aztecs. Grader's daughter, the left hand, deflected at the net. San Diego State turns it into attack. Robinson gets the initial dig, and then Hirai was trying to come from behind Brianne Robinson to play it, and almost ended up chop blocking her own teammate. Looked like a little low action. All she was missing was the high side block on that, and luckily didn't take out or damage Robinson's knee. That was really where she went with it. 9-7 Aztecs. Rader's daughter swings and hits it off a hand. It's just easier to wait for the flagmen to make the calls, as the net touches and non-net touches tonight have been very slight on either side in terms of what has been deflected and what hasn't. Cage, and that one, an easy call, goes long, and no Spartan was high enough up to touch it. Nine. Cage tips it, and Stroik, believe, able to dig it out of the ground. Reeves, that time Hirai plays it, and Gavio mistimes her swing, hits it off the lower part of her wrist into the base of the net. The Aztecs retake the lead. This by far the hardest fought set. It's been back and forth the most. Losi evens things up. picking out the back corner where only Soma was. And Soma had to dive back into her left to even have a shot at it. We were tied 5 times in the third set, 3 times in the first set, none in the second, already 4 ties here in set number 4 as Grajeda and Avery block it out of play. Spartans play the deep serve, able to keep it alive. Fuzi has to go to ground to keep it going for San Diego State. Gavio just to get it over attack. Turnland, and that goes onto the white, out of play. Spartans serving at 11-11. San Jose State's only led once in this set, and that was at 3-2. So we've been tied 5 times here in this set. Only 2 lead changes, and now make it 3 as a solo block by Latavai Losi. So 5 ties, 3 lead changes. Same number for each of those statistics that we had after a full third set, and we were only halfway through set number 4. 12-11 Spartans. Soma pinballs away from Summer Avery, and we are tied again. That one was swung downwards by Soma and quickly deflected off of 2 Spartans. Avery, no chance to play it. Low C blocked by Harris and Turnland out of play, and the Spartans get the lead back, 13-12. Not sure if it's the two teams figuring each other out at this stage of the match, or maybe a little bit of fatigue on either side, but it sure seems like the blocks for both teams are entering into the match a whole lot more.
Yeah, and I think that, you nailed it on the head just earlier, that the Aztecs came out a whole different team than we'd seen the first 2 sets. They came out of that break, I think, playing their true selves. I don't think they were ready for the Spartans that first set and kind of needed to regroup.
As Thelma Grader's daughter, the soft kill for her 8th of the match. Hitting 200 is Grader's daughter. Well, I'm looking at the way the teams have scored points in this set. We've seen 16 total blocks. And the Aztecs have had 3 of their 7 in the last set alone, as the Spartans win themselves their 3rd straight point, forcing the first time out of the set called by San Diego State. 15-12 Spartans, as the Spartan bench starting to hoot and holler a little bit. We saw them really try to get excited in the 3rd set and maybe looked ahead too much. But the Spartans, with their 3-point lead now, will look to continue along the same path and try to close things out. Step aside for a moment, take a quick water break. The Mountain West Network. Spartans in set number 4, leading 15-12. Robinson continuing to serve for the Spartans at 15-12. Before the break, the 15th point for the Spartans was a block. Angela Gama involved in it. So 4 block assists for her, puts her in 8th place all-time, tied for 8th. Summer Avery tips it over. Aztecs quickly return it back. Grader's daughter, a swing, and not the best pass for her to unload. Had to turn her body, and that affected where she put the ball. Well wide, right in front of us. And the run ends at 3 points for the Spartans. Gama now 110 block assists, ties her with Tanya Kamau. Set that mark in 1998. Danielle Bolden serving it 2 points down. Soma goes up and collects the kill. Aztecs continuing to hit well, of up their match hitting percentage to 76. It's just the second set that they've hit positively in, and their blocks have also been much better as well. Soma and Harris combined for the block, and the Spartans are forced to call a timeout as 3 straight by San Diego State makes it 15-15. Aztecs have 8 blocks in the match, and even though they did have 3 blocks in the first set and 1 in the second, Amy, and they've matched those numbers in sets 3 and 4, 3 in the third set, and that one just the first here in set number 4. It sure seems like the block has been much more involved for the Aztecs, at the very least forcing the Spartans to find another way to attack.
Yeah, I think it has been a lot more effective. And on top of that, the Spartans are kind of going away from those swings that we saw in the first and second sets from them. They're hitting into the block more, and they're not necessarily finding those holes in those seams the way that they were in those first and second sets.
When there is no official stat for blocking a ball that is kept in play, but if that stat was kept, I think you'd see that that number has gotten a lot larger for the Aztecs as time has gone on in this match. Blocks only recorded as such if they end points.
Right.
Bolden serving at 15 all. Serve goes to Andrade. Grader's daughter blocked at the net by Harris, who went way up for it. Grader's daughter gets it past the block that time, and Bolden can't dig it out. Lead back for the Spartans, who have played real well here at Spartan Gym this year. 6 of their 10 wins have come inside the gym here at Yoshiro Uchida Hall in downtown San Jose. Well, that will not be a positive thing anywhere you go as Hirai serves it out of play. And on the flip side, the Aztecs, definitely a different team away from Aztec Court in San Diego. San Diego State 9-5 at home, just 2-5 when playing as a true road opponent, but they are 3-1 on neutral sites, so go figure. Must be the opposing team and their fans.
Our fans are a little quieter than usual tonight.
Soma able to get it over the second time in a row, and the Spartans called for reaching over. Spartan Gym, if you've never been here before, is a classic old-time volleyball, basketball combo barn. Roof not very vaulted, so the ceiling is relatively close as Robinson dumps it over. And the infraction called on Robinson.
Yeah, she's trying to say that she was below the plane of the net, but that was not the call from the up ref.
And the second straight point by the Aztecs forces another Spartan timeout. Just to finish the thought on Spartan Gym here in San Jose, the ceiling not very high up, and therefore any noise in here is instantly amplified by a bunch. And it doesn't take a full crowd to really make this place noisy, but with only so many seats here, you often see it pretty filled. Nonetheless, still a good crowd in attendance tonight, as we see off on the right corner of your screen a couple of the Spartan teams in attendance tonight. Spartan women's basketball here, Spartan men's basketball also here. Although, as the night has gone on, each of those teams who began their exhibition season on Tuesday night with big wins, starting to focus more on their own seasons. The Spartan women will be in action in the regular season next weekend. They'll start their regular season on the road with two tough matchups right away, Las Cruces and Tempe both, as they'll take on New Mexico State and Arizona State. And right out of the timeout, the down official on the near side here, I think checking lineups or substitutions, something that the Spartans pointed out. I think they're trying to protest a rotation, as we're still awaiting Kathy Rogers, who's checking things out. Spartan men's basketball, meanwhile, will be home on Sunday, their second exhibition match against Cal State East Bay. That will be over at the Event Center. That one will not be on the Mountain West Network, so if you want to see it, go on out. So we're still getting a conversation here. Kathy Rogers and coaching staff for San Diego State working things out. And at the very least, this works as a timeout for the Spartans. In very extended timeout, an opportunity to kind of recover. And
the issue is going to be if they were out of rotation, how long they were out of rotation for, because they just had a run of, I think it was 2 points. And that's what Coach Shepardson kept holding up her hands and yelling.
2 points in a row for the Aztecs. Before that, it was rather 3 straight points by the Aztecs. It was a 16-15 Spartan lead. San Diego State then 3 points in a row. And really, it's been a run for San Diego State of 6 over 1. It was 15-12 San Jose State at one point. So we may be approaching a resolution.
And they got the score changed.
As we wait the ruling, and it sounds like 2 points, well, it looks like 2 points have been taken off the board for the Aztecs. I'm not sure why it would be 2 and not 3.
Because they served for 2 points, even because they won that third point, but that first point that they won, but then they served for 2 in a row after that, so they're getting those 2 taken away.
So the subs only came after it became 16-16. So those 2 points coming off, and I think we may be nearing the resumption of this game. Maybe not. As now the two officials converge, Kevin Cole and Kathy Rogers. And I think we may be getting a reversal of that. As looks like the signal will be just 2 points. At least that's what Cole is signaling to the Aztec side. So the substitution error takes away the last 2 points for the Aztecs and makes it 17-16 Spartans. And we wait still. Okay. Teacher Collins Parker says what she needs to, and now we're back to volleyball. So all that, 2 points come off the board after after the Aztec last 2 points were on a substitution error, and that's the best way to respond. Tamia Reeves goes right off a Spartan hand and down, and there's 1 point back. That was emphatic.
I don't think we've seen any hits out of her like that all night.
Reeves has 4 kills now, but
not
by
any
far the best.
like that.
As Bolden keeps it alive with a dive in the back. And Grajeda bounces off a couple Aztecs to get the kill, and the Spartans retake the lead 18-17. Droik, Losi, Grader's daughter, all come in for the Spartans. As Hirai's defensive play goes out of play. And we're even at 18. And you just get the feeling, Amy, that this set's probably going to end within 2 or 3 points, just like the third set did. The Aztecs won that one 25-23. Closest set of the night. As Losi tips it over, and laying out for it is Turnlin. She can't play it. Seesawed the last 4 points. 19-18 Spartans, 19-19 as Gavio serves it into the net. As Fuzi will serve. Open-handed serve goes to Andrade. Losi, the big swing, and that will reach the scorer's table. Quickly looking at the out-of-town scoreboard, at halftime now down in San Diego, the Mountain West Championship semifinal, Spartans and Aztecs in women's soccer. It remains 2-0 San Diego State. Here the Spartans are 5 points away from coming away with a win. Alexis Cage rattles one off of a Spartan defense, and we're even at 20. Even though there would be a couple-minute break after set number 4, you just get the feeling that if the Aztecs win 4, they might win 5. Harris unable to get it over that time, tried to play it soft, and it slipped out of her palm.
I agree with you on that, Jess, that momentum going into that 5th game, winning 3 and 4 it's pretty crucial. so it could be harder for the Spartans to pull out that 5th set.
Aztecs have played 7 5-set matches this year and have a losing record in them, 3-4. Trezhnakova to serve for the Spartans at 21-20. Goes across the cage. Harris kept alive by Zdroik and then Gavio. And put over by the Spartans. Harris blocked by Gama. Avery there as well. And that's 5 block assists for Nanjala Gama. No, I take that back. Give that a solo block to Avery. Gama was in the neighborhood, so in the search of milestones, not given the benefit of the doubt there. And a timeout called by the Aztecs. So this 4th set has been up and down for the last 15, 20 points. Hitting leaders for the Spartans, Tavai Losi, quietly, I feel, has taken over the kill lead by far. 15 kills for the freshman from Fremont. Over just 3 errors on 31 attacks, hitting .387 in the match. Taliana Grajeda still having a solid effort. 10 kills over 1 error on 14 attacks, hitting .640. Tom Grader's daughter also in the positives at 130. 7 over 4 on 23 attacks. For San Diego State, most of their leading hitters, rather their top 6 leading hitters in terms of kills, and only Ashlyn Dunbar is not in the positives of those who have kills. Sama 11 over 9, hitting .057, Cage 250, Turnlin 192, Harrison Reeves both under 100. Back-to-back dives by the Aztecs, get it over. Gama off of the block by Turnlin, out of play. (23-20). Spartans inch closer. Trezhnakova the serve, goes to Pritchard. Turnlin jumps up and gets help from the net as it helps the attack really throw off the timing of the Spartan block there. And the serve turns over. Like a either a mouthpiece or a piece of debris coming off the net. A quick whistle by Cole, the up ref. Bolden will serve it at 21-23. Trezhnakova with a nice return. Avery's blocked, and that goes out of play. Utchin was right there and had a good block on it. Both hands were right there, but put it out of play. So we will have the conclusion of the match, rather the conclusion of the set at least for you, after another Aztec timeout. Nanjala Gama, who still hanging on to 4 block assists in the match, has moved up to 110 on the season, has tied her for 8th place. Could still win the match if the Spartans are to win this set on the very next point and get her 5th. Or if the set goes longer, the match goes longer, could find ourselves with a loftier raise for Gama on the night. But for the time being, 4 block assists for her in the pursuit of Liz Hudson and her mark of 134. We take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Spartans looking to move up in the Mountain West standings, and should they get the win tonight, it looks like they may get the help they need from the Wolfpack, who are down in the Central Valley taking on Fresno State. And after 2 sets down there, the Wolfpack lead at 2 sets to none over the Bulldogs. Nevada, of course, will be here on Saturday, while San Diego State goes down to Fresno. Next up, should the Spartans get the win there, they sit a game back of New Mexico, who lost tonight on the road at Wyoming. So the win tonight would bunch things up in the bottom half of the standings. A couple misplays, and the ace by Jamie Hirai wins the set and the match for the Spartans. 25-21 in the fourth set. 25-18, 25-21, 23-25, and 25-21. The Spartans get the 3-1 victory over San Diego State. We'll have Coach Jolene Shepherdson in a moment as Amy heads down to her interview position to grab a victorious Spartans head coach. San Jose State improves their record to 11-14 on the year, 4-9 in Mountain West play, with all 4 of their wins coming here at home. The Aztecs, meanwhile, drop to 14-12 and fall to 6-6 in conference play. Stand by for Amy Lansky with Coach Jolene Shepherdson as the Spartans returning the favor. They beat the Aztecs 3-1 after San Diego State swept them earlier this season, and the Spartans with the win break the streak. 4 straight matches won by San Diego State, who hadn't lost to the Spartans since November 7th in 2013. Amy Lansky ready with Coach Jolene Shepherdson, and we will throw it down to her now.
All right, I'm joined down on the court with head coach of the Spartans, Coach Jolene Shepherdson. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
So this is only the second time in conference that you guys have come out and won the first set. So what changed tonight and what was different?
I think our focus in practice, we didn't play so well in the last weekend, so we just recommitted. The team recommitted. We knew we wanted to grow as a team and get better, and so we recommitted that in practice, and we came out tonight on fire.
Awesome. So Ninjala Gama tonight tied for 8th in the blocks per set. Yes, assists a block per set. And talk to me about what an accomplishment that is for her and going into still having so many more games of the season.
I know. She's a talented athlete, and I think this just really gives her some ownership in something that she knows that she can do, like a really good skilled blocker, and she's taken charge of that and being a leader in that category for us and doing a great job. I want her to keep going. I'm not really caring about the the ties and stuff and breaking records. I want her to just keep focusing and being a talented player that she is.
Right. Well, congrats on the win tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So the Spartans get the win 3-1. As we'd like to thank Coach Shepherdson for joining us for a post-game interview. Spartans with the win. Ninjala Gama factored into it with 4 blocks, tied with Talana Grajeda, second on the team. Spartans 11 blocks total. Latahavai Losi had the best night for the Spartans. 15 kills, 3 errors on 31 attacks, hitting .387, and 7 blocks for the freshman Losi. And like we saw at the start of the year, Losi and Grajeda, 2 of the talented freshmen for the Spartan team. Thelma Grader's daughter also finishing towards the top of the hitting marks tonight for the Spartans. Grajeda was at a lofty 643 tonight, 10 kills, just 1 error on 14 attacks, 4 blocks for her. Grader's daughter factored into just the offensive side of the ball, 7 kills over 4 errors and a hitting percentage of 130. Gavio and Avery, 6 kills each. And Ninjala Gama, 4 kills as mentioned. And Brand Robinson with 1 kill for the Spartans, who hit .243 in the fourth set for a .202 hitting percentage in the match. Meanwhile, for San Diego State, it really was a tale of 4 individual sets and kind of split between the first half and the second half. That 10-minute intermission really changed things for the Aztecs. as in the first two sets, 15 kills, 18 errors on 64 attacks. They hit under 0 for each of those first two sets, but set number 3 hit 231, set number 4, 179, and with the third set win, they really put some pressure on the Spartans, and then more pressure still in the fourth set, but the Spartans able to wrangle it in and pull out the victory. Final stats for San Diego State. They did have 2 hitters who were high up there in kills and only just a few errors. Hannah Turnlind in her return to her home area from the Morgan Hill area and a presentation graduate, former Panther of presentation, not too far here from San Jose. Turnlind had the second best hitting percentage with the second most kills, 10 over 4 on 27 attacks. Alexis Cage hit best for San Diego State tonight, 9 over 4, hitting 250. Meanwhile, Alexandra Soma, the leader in kills, 11 over 9 on 35 attacks. Spartans led the way in blocks with 11. San Diego State only with 8. And really the limiting of errors by the Spartans and the inability to limit errors by San Diego State, the difference in tonight's match.
Yeah, Jess, I'd agree with you on that. And overall, the Spartans really just came out strong, like I talked about with Coach Shepardson, those first 2 sets. And in that fourth set, it was really crucial, those points that were turned over. I talked to Coach Shepardson a little bit about that after I just interviewed her, and she was saying that they had, like we came up with, an illegal sub, and 13 had served for the libero, and she hadn't been subbed back out, which you have to be subbed back out, and they had the libero basically trying to serve twice, is what the conclusion of that call was. And that was just 2 crucial points for the Spartans to be able to be on top and come through with that win.
Well, that ended up making the difference. Spartans win the fourth set by 4 points, 25-21, and get the 3-1 win tonight over San Diego State. Next up for the Spartans will be Saturday afternoon against Nevada at 1 o'clock first serve. If you want to find out what happens in the match, you can either check out the Spartan website for the statistics of the match, live stats, stream, or else come on out to Spartan Gym if you can. There will be no broadcast of that match on Saturday. We will be out at the Spartan Soccer practice field as San Jose State men's soccer plays their last home match of the year against University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Next match on the air will be the last match for the Spartans this season, November 22nd against Fresno State, 6 p.m. I believe that is a Tuesday night, a rare Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We hope you'll be able to join us for that one, as between now and then the Spartans will play Nevada and then go on the road. Air Force, Boise State, and Utah State before the match against Fresno on November 22nd. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us tonight. We hope you'll join us again in 2+ weeks' time when we are next on the air with Spartan women's volleyball, and we'll have a couple San Jose State athletics events for you. Before then, check out sjsuspartans.com for the full list of events that we'll have televised for you on the internet. I'd like to thank our cameraman tonight, Ryan Mao, holding down the fort and making everything look good. Amy Lansky, color commentator, sideline reporter, all-around good person and engineer tonight. I'm Jess Canastra. Repeating the final score one last time in 4 sets. 25-18, 25-21, 23-25, and 25-21 Spartans win it 3-1 over the Aztecs, get their 4th win in conference play, and will look to use the momentum into a Saturday affair with the Nevada Wolfpack. We will talk to you again real soon. But until then, have a great night, and goodbye from San Jose. From San Jose. From San Jose. From San Jose.